Hi, I'm Elise Ramsey, and I was one of the speakers at Hope Summit 2018, where I had the opportunity to share my story about living with and growing from suicidal depression. Hope Summit was a really wonderful experience, made even more special by the people that I got to share it with, the other speakers, our support coaches, and the organizers. I shared a lot of personal details that day, and before then I'd always carried a lot of shame about my mental illnesses. Sharing that story with others in a moment of radical vulnerability really helped me to acknowledge what I'd been through, acknowledge that I couldn't change it, and accept it. Depression and anxiety had a lot of really negative impacts on my life, and I wasn't always able to be the person I wanted to be, but dwelling in that shame just compounded those effects. By allowing myself to be vulnerable, I also allowed myself to be seen and accepted by others. I'd hope that this year's Hope Summit speakers can also find a place of vulnerability, freedom, and love to speak from so that they can be seen and heard as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Williams, and I was a part of the 2018 Hope Summit group, and it has been a great experience for me, and I've learned a lot. And right now, I'm kind of living in that kind of atmosphere because of what the experience I got from the Hope Summit. I'm able to draw from that now at this time in my life. So it has been great, and I wish all the participants for the 2020 all the best and journey in hope continually. Thank you.
What's up, guys? It's Caleb Moses. I did the Hope Summit 2 years ago, and Della asked me to share my experience with you guys, what it was like being in the Hope Summit. And although it was a little bit different for me, because I kind of was already in the midst and sharing my experience with so many people, it wasn't like I was coming out of a shell that I was in for so long. But the thing that it did give me was it just really boosted the fact of doing service for people. As for like speaking to the public about my experience through drug addiction, and just really kind of divided me into a different route almost, because I shared a lot of my experience with other drug addicts, and not so much more people, the public, who wouldn't necessarily understand but might be going through the same thing. It was a good experience in that sense, because when I shared my story, I had this older couple, and I mean, like, they're grandparents, and this older lady came up to me, and she was just bawling after I shared, and then she shared her experience with dealing with it, and her grandson is going through basically the exact same thing that I was. So I already knew that me sharing my experience with others would help other people, because it helps people realize that they're not the only ones going through it. But not only that, like, sharing to people who might not understand exactly what it is you're going through, but having that story of hope for people that are, just like the grandma that was crying to me, that is going through the same thing, but having hope that her grandson can overcome what he's going through and come on top, right? And that's basically how my story was. It allowed my love for service work, for being there for people, just so much greater. Not only that, I think personally, I don't know if you believe in Jesus Christ, but I just was reborn here 2 months ago, and that's been a very, very long process because of my own experience. But I believe that the Hope Summit helped drive me closer to him. And now, you know, if you guys wanted to, you could look up my story on YouTube on the Hope Summit and hear what I had to say. But you know, the beautiful thing is now, just within the couple of months of me coming closer to the Lord, you know, all of a sudden I'm married to the woman that I've been with for 10 plus years, and the kids that we've been fighting for and just struggling to get there, we finally get full custody of these kids in January. So I mean, I think that the Hope Summit had part in just pushing me in the right direction, right? It had, for myself anyways, it had nothing to do with coming out of a shell. I was already out of my shell, but it kind of just gave me a nudge in this other direction. Instead of just helping recovering addicts or addicts, I started helping people in general and caring about people in general, like every person, and realizing that like I shouldn't just be caring about people who've been through what I've been through. So I guess it's kind of like a life anatomy for me, that it just helped me get that much closer to being the best person that I possibly can be. So I hope this video helps you guys. Don't be too nervous. I mean, this is your guys' story. Nobody can tell it but you. So just rock it. I know you guys will do well. I'm looking forward to watching you guys on YouTube, and I hope you have a good year. Peace.
Hi there. My name is Wanda Campbell, and I spoke at Hope Summit 2018. I think that whenever I tell my story about Lane and about grief and about how I learned to live my life without Lane here, it always provides healing for myself. So I've always been able to take that with me as I've gone on. One of the things that I think about Hope Summit 2018 that I've definitely taken with me is being able to speak about Lane. I was asked in 2019 to take part in the grand opening of the Regina Bypass, which I was able to tell Lane's story, and I was able to advocate for a safe highway. And I believe that is probably part of Lane's legacy. I believe that telling his story also provides healing for myself, and I think for those that hear the story as well. So 2020 is, of course, looking a little different with the pandemic, but I'm sure everything will be very impactful, as it always is. I just wanted to thank Della again for asking me to speak in 2018, and hope everybody takes care and be safe. Thank you.